Good day children, Sai Ram, and welcome back to our third lecture in chapter number 5, Social and Religious Reforms. Now children, in the previous lecture we have learned about some of the institute like the Brahmo Samaj, then the Satyashodak Samaj, the Prarthana Samaj, the Arya Samaj. These were the various institutes we have learned already in our previous lecture. Now let's continue with our lesson with the next institute called as the Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission was such an institute which was started by a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Now who is a disciple? Disciple means a follower, a student. A student or a follower of Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Who was he? Swami Vivekananda. He had started this Ramakrishna Mission in the year 1897. Now what was the work of this mission? Why this mission was established? This mission was established for helping the famine-stricken people. The places where the famine is taking place, the people over there suffer so much without food and water. In such places, help was provided by the Ramakrishna Mission. Not only this, even the patients were helped out, medical help was given to the poor people, female education was provided, and spiritual growth was also provided to the people through this institute called as the Ramakrishna Mission. Now, Swami Vivekananda, he had attended the Parliament of Religions at Chicago. In the year 1893. And why he had gone over there? He had gone as a representative of Hinduism. He always used to tell the youth, Indian youth, that arise, awake, and stop not till your goal is achieved. Unless and until your goal is achieved, do not stop. Continue going to that goal. That was the main slogan given by Swami Vivekananda to the Indian youth. So everyone has understood what is the Ramakrishna Mission and what was the aim of the Ramakrishna Mission. Let's continue. Here is a picture of Swami Vivekananda. Now let's talk about the social reforms among the Sikh. Now the Sikh religion also had started social reforms among their own religion. For that the Singh Sabha was established at Amritsar, in Punjab. The Singh Sabha was established. What was the aim of this Singh Sabha? To achieve reforms in Sikh religion. So that the Sikh religion, whatever reformation is, whatever changes has to be brought, was looked after by the Singh Sabha. And what was the other aims of that? To spread education, to bring about modernization among the people. This was the aims of this Singh Sabha. Later, the Akali movement continued the tradition of reformation. So this Singh Sabha was later on continued by the Akali movement. Next is emancipation of women. Now here we are going to talk about the conditions of women during the British rule, which was very, very pathetic. So here we are going to see how the women condition was changed due to the reformation. The position of women was very miserable in India during the British rule, because the British did not pay any attention only towards the progress of the women. They always kept the women as they were in the Indian society. They were not looked after at all. They had no right to education, and the Britishers also did not try to bring the women to take education. So they had no right of education. Then what other practices were there against the women? Like child marriage was there. When the girl is so very small, she had to get married and she had to go to her in-laws house, which was not at all favorable for her. You all know when a child is small, the child needs only the mother. And if the mother is only not there, the others are not going to take good care of her. The child marriage was not at all good for the women. Then dowry system, you all know what is dowry system. When a girl gets married, she has to give some wealth to her in-laws house. Take some wealth to the in-laws house. That is called as dowry system. If at all the girl's parents are very much poor and they are not able to give the dowry, then the girl will be tortured for that. Okay, so dowry system was also not favorable. Then sati system, you all know what is sati system. We have learned about sati system. Then the next is Keshwapan. What is this Keshwapan? Keshwapan is that custom in which when a woman loses her husband, that time she has to make her head fully bald. That means she has to remove her beautiful hair from her head. Okay, and she has to become fully bald. That is called as Keshwapan. And you all know girls how much they like their hair. Okay, and that the girls have to remove all their hair. Okay, then opposition to widow remarriage. There was opposition to widow remarriage. That means widow should not marry again. She should always have either she is to be go along with her husband in sati system, or she has to remove her hair. Okay, this was the restrictions put up on the widow, but she was not allowed to marry at all. Okay, so all these were the superstitious beliefs of the people which prevailed in the Indian society and which was against the women's progress. The then governor, that time the governor was Lord Bentinck. Okay, what he did, he took help of some social reformers like Rajaram Mohan Roy. Okay, he took the help of these people and he passed the Sati Prohibition Act. At least that work he had done. Who had done this work? Lord Bentinck. Okay, taking the help of some of the Indian reformers, he passed the Sati Prohibition Act because he did not like it at all that the women are being burnt like this. Okay, so this system was stopped. Then Gopal Hari Deshmukh, popularly known as Lokahitwadi. We have learned this previously also about Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Okay, what he did, he advocated gender equality. He said that men and women are equal. Okay, and what he did actually for this, he wrote in his newspaper Shatapatri. Okay, through his writings in Shatapatri, he tried to bring about an awakening among the Indian people that men and women are equal. Okay, there should be no discrimination on the basis of gender. Okay, this was the aim of some of the people like Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Here is the picture of Gopal Hari Deshmukh. In the year 1848, Mahatma Phule started the first school for girls. We have learned about Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, correct? So Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, what he did, he started the first school for girls at Bhidewada in Pune. Okay, he started the first girls' school. You all must be knowing previously girls or women were not allowed to come out of their houses also. They had to be in the four walls of the house. Okay, so what did Mahatma Jyotirao Phule did? He started a girls' school at Bhidewada in Pune. Okay, and he was supported by his wife. First of all, what did Mahatma Jyotirao Phule do? He educated his wife first. Okay, and then made his wife come out of the house and try to educate the women or the girls in the society. Okay, now Savitribai Phule, she was not welcomed by the Indian society so very coolly and calmly. Okay, she had to go through many atrocities. The people used to call her names, throw stones at her. Okay, then also, in spite of all these things, Savitribai Phule, she became the first Indian teacher. Okay, that is the girl teacher. Mahatma Phule established the Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Gruha. Okay, that is infant mortality. Okay, when a child is born, mainly the girls, when they are born, they are killed then and there. Okay, so this was stopped by Mahatma Phule. First of all, this he started in his own house. Okay, then he tried to bring about an awakening in the Indian society. Not only this, Mahatma Phule also conducted the strike of barbers. Okay, now you all know who are the barbers? Barbers are those people who cut your hair, correct? Then why this strike was started by the barbers here? Because of the custom of shaving the heads of widows. I have told you about Keshwapan. Okay, in Keshwapan the women hair is taken out from and she is made bald. Okay, for that reason, what did Mahatma Phule do? He started a strike of the barbers. The barbers went on a strike that we are not anymore going to cut the hair of the woman. Okay, so this was done by Mahatma Phule. Understood, children, till here? Here is a picture of Savitribai Phule. Next, Pandit Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, and Viresh Lingam took up special efforts. Now, these are the people called as Pandit Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, and Viresh Lingam. These were the people. What they did, they took up special efforts. They had taken special efforts to gain permission for widow remarriage, so that the widow can get married again. She is a human being. She also has a right to live in the society. Okay, for that reason, these people took great efforts, okay, to gain permission for widow remarriage. You can see over here Pandit Ishwarchandra and Viresh Lingam. Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. Okay, one person called as Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. What he did? He gave his staunch opinion about child marriage, okay, and law of consent. He was an advocate. Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, he gave his strong opinion about child marriage, against child marriage, okay, and he stopped this act of child marriage. Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde, what he did? He organized a conference about the practice of Devdasi. Okay, now what is this Devdasi? Have you all heard about a Devdasi? Small girls. They are offered to the temple. Okay, they throughout their life they will not marry, nothing. They will not have their own family, nothing. They will be fully dedicated to the temple. Okay, they are the dancers of the temple. Okay, and they are not treated very good. They are not treated respectfully in the society. Okay, but they are always offered to the temple. Okay, so this was taught by Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde. Tarabai Shinde, she put up her views about women's right in her book. Okay, what she had done? She had written down a book called as Stri Purush Tulna, equality. Okay, Stri Purush Tulna means men women equality. Okay, so she had written one book called as Stri Purush Tulna. Maharshi Dhondo Karve, he stated the Anath Balika Ashram, okay, an orphanage for girls, set up first women's university in 20th century. So what was the work done by Maharshi Dhondo Karve? He stated the Anath Balika Ashram. What is the meaning of Anath Balika Ashram? Orphan girls. Okay, he had started one orphanage for girls. Okay, and he set up women's university also, wherein the women can take education. Okay, when he started in the 20th century. So these were all the people who had worked for the emancipation of women. Okay, so Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde, Tarabai Shinde, Maharshi Dhondo Karve. These were the many people who struggled a lot for the emancipation of women in the Indian society. Okay, children. Here is the picture of the book called as Stri Purush Tulna. Who had written it? Tarabai Shinde. Here you can see the Devdasis. Devdasis who are offered to the temple. They are the dancers. Okay. Throughout their life they have to dance. Okay. Here in the picture they are looking so very beautiful over here. But they are not at all treated respectfully in the society. Pandita Ramabai. Okay. Pandita Ramabai. She had founded the Sharda Sadan. Okay, and took up the responsibility of taking care of disabled children and women. Okay, disabled children and women, that means those children which are disabled, as well as women, those who don't have any of the people to look after them. Okay, such type of women lived in the Sharda Sadan. Who had started the Sharda Sadan? Pandita Ramabai. Ramabai ran it through the medium of Seva Sadan Institute started the nursing course for women, and also she also fought for the right of voting for the women. Okay, previously the women were not allowed to vote. Okay, so she got the right for women right to vote. Okay, Ramabai Shinde, through the medium of Seva Sadan Institute, started the nursing course. You all know what is the nursing course, correct? The course for doing in the hospitals and all, you all see the nurses and all, correct? They also require a certain course for doing the nursing. Okay, and this was started by Ramabai Ranade. Okay, Dr. Ambedkar spoke about the injustice towards women. Even people like Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, they also spoke against the injustice towards women. They said that why the women should be treated so very unequally. Not only this, even Mahatma Gandhi also advocated education for women. He always used to say, one man in a family is educated, only he is educated. But if a woman is educated, the full family is educated. Okay, so these were the views of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and people like Mahatma Gandhi also. Okay, children, you all have understood till here? Here is a picture of Pandita Ramabai and Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Okay, children, till here everyone has understood? Okay, for today this much only, children. The remaining part of the lesson we'll do in the next lecture. Till then, thank you, children.